What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Rec Tech on YouTube. Another demo for you today. Daxtra announced the availability of its newest offering, TalentFlow. With the needs of today's recruiting teams in mind, Daxtra developed TalentFlow as an intelligent talent acquisition solution that automates sourcing, matching, screening, and candidate engagement at scale to improve hiring outcomes. Here to give us a demo of the new features is Mike Seidel, and Mike joins us now. Hey, Mike.
Hi, how you doing, Chris? It's good to see you again.
Yeah, definitely. So I see Daxtra's moving beyond its resume parsing roots here with some new features. So excited to hear what you guys are up to.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this too. We've been working on TalentFlow really for about the last year. It's the reason I sold my company Pivot CX to Daxtra was to be able to build a product just like this. So I'm really excited about it. And, hopefully we can really make a difference in a lot of recruiters' lives day to day.
Nice. Was Pivot CX the kind of impetus of this new product, or is this something different?
Um, I think sometimes the great things come together. In history we've had a lot of that, and in our case, we had a great communication platform. We did voice, video, SMS. We did it. We enabled team workflows and individual workflows. But what we kept hearing from our customers when we were on our own was we need a way to get more candidates into this. We need a way to rediscover talent that's already in our ATS or already sitting in our CRM or maybe I need to go get more candidates from the job boards, but I don't want to wait around for them to apply. I want to search through all those resume databases. And all those things were things we kept hearing as Pivot CX. We would like to have that. We'd like to have that. So an opportunity came up to join together with Daxtra that had, I think Daxtra from what they've done in the market over the years. But for 21 years, they've been building some of the best search technology for candidates, some of the best matching technology, some of the best skill identification technology, and really, doing that, really in a way that predated a lot of this modern AI era. And they've been updating their tools to use all of the newer AI technology. So we have incredibly good tooling for identifying candidates and making it super easy for recruiters to search. When we add that up with the communication capability that Pivot CX had, and then add in agentic AI, we have the ability to really hand off a lot of work that gets the people end up having to do to the agents. And what that looks like for the recruiters is what would your life be like if you had unlimited junior recruiters that you could just go, hey, these 400 people, can you screen them this morning? And that's what we can do.
Okay. Well, go ahead and share your screen. Let's get rolling with the demo here.
All right. This is the TalentFlow dashboard. This is TalentFlow, just to kind of give you a little background on this so everybody knows what they're looking at. It's designed to hook up with your ATS. And we hook up with quite a few of the leading ATSs. It's not something where we have to have a big consulting session or spend weeks and weeks going back and forth about how to hook up.
Mhm.
It's just baked into the platform. So hooking up to an ATS is as easy as going to team settings and picking integrations and picking new ATS integration. And you'll see a lot of leading names that are supported out of the box with
Oh,
this.
yeah. How
Um,
many roughly? A few dozen?
Actually, we support about 41 ATSs in total.
Oh, wow.
We have full support every feature with 21 of these, and it's mostly the major ones. So, look at things like UKG, Workday, JobVite, and you go through the list. There's a lot there. And for those that are doing the integrations, if I pick one, I get kind of a follow the bouncing ball. I say I'm an administrator, it reviews data permissions, and then we go right in and just follow the bouncing ball, answer the questions. And when you're done, you'll get an orange button that says finish. And when you click that button, we start loading data. And TalentFlow is useful about 5 minutes after
Self-service
you click
integration. I
that
like
button.
that. Yeah.
We had that with Pivot CX, and that was an interesting thing because it really did take a lot of the guesswork out of doing integrations. It
Yeah.
was either it's supported or it's not, and it's done before we start. Which really changes the game because I think with a lot of HR tech, and I know you've lived this life, um, we spend an awful lot of times, weeks and weeks sometimes, just trying to get things mapped so we can do a fairly basic integration.
Yeah, integrations take forever, you know. So the fact that you have us, you know, this wizard tool you can just do it yourself, that's
Makes a big difference. And
yeah.
for customers that don't want to do it themselves, we still have an implementation and client success team that'll help you get all that stuff right. And it's important to get it right, because if we get good data into this tool, we can do some pretty amazing things. So, and that's kind of back to why join with Daxtra. It was always because, looking at the future, data quality is going to be critical to making these AI workflows work right. If you have bad data in there, the AIs are going to identify bad patterns. They're going to make bad decisions, not going to work. We have good data, we're in a different place.
Right, so describe the dashboard here, Mike.
All right. So just at a glance, we have up at the top, tells you how many new candidates you have. We support 2 workflows. We support sourced candidates and active applications. So if somebody applies on Indeed, we can get that out of the application object in your ATS, or we actually still retain the ability to hook directly up to job boards and pull in applications into TalentFlow. So this is telling us I have 100 new ones. I have a conversion funnel for people that have entered the screening process. So I'll expand that, say all time. Tells me how many candidates, how many applications, and this is pretty normal to see a candidate apply to 2 jobs, because if you have one in Dallas and one in Fort Worth, somebody might live in between the 2 and apply to both. How many we've started screening, how many have engaged, and then how many have been sent on to a hiring manager, part of the dashboard. We show you all of your jobs that you have from your ATS, how many candidates are in each stage, so you can see how many we're doing outreach to, how many are screening right now, how many of those are delivered on to a hiring manager. You can always see what messages are waiting for you. We're waiting for the team, and we did retain Pivot CX's really unique ability to share phone numbers across the team of recruiters. And now you're sharing with a team of recruiters plus your agents, and we really treat AI as a member of your team. So makes it really easy for the humans and the AIs to kind of team up and solve problems that are bigger than maybe they thought they could solve. So that's at a glance our dashboard. One thing that's I'm really looking forward to as we continue to bring the product to market. We'll be adding more agents actually next week. We have an agent marketplace that allows you to add more capability to TalentFlow. So we start with a screening agent. You'll have the ability to add any number of these other agents. They're all smart agents that really can do a lot of work for you. And we even do have the ability for customers that need it. If they need a custom agent, we have the ability to deliver those as well.
Hmm. Okay. So the screening agent is live. The rest are coming soon.
Yes.
Get a
And
timetable for any of those?
as actually the first round of new agents are at the end of the development process. So I suspect those will be in the product within 30 or 45 days,
Oh, okay,
maybe
great.
faster.
Yep,
We're moving really quick with this.
definitely. Yeah.
So, and then we retained a lot of the user interface like we had in Pivot CX, but we built this around a job first workflow or a requisition centric workflow. So if you're a recruiter, you'll go to jobs and you'll be able to see all your jobs listed here. You'll be able to see how many people have applied, how many people have matched. You can see locations. If you need to get more candidates, it's pretty easy just to say match candidates, and it'll start searching. And these searches, because we are using a full AI search where we're looking at skills, we're looking at resume content, we're looking at all the job posts that we've got and all the resumes we've got. Those searches can take a few minutes, but it'll come back and tell me when the search is complete. As far as the jobs go, I'll go ahead and click into one of them. You do have the ability to edit the job right here. And as you look up here, you'll see that we have just a little bit of info on the job, and then we have a bank of skills. This was identified by Daxtra's skill matching technology. We have the ability to set mandatory questions for screening so that I can have different questions for each job. You can also set mandatory questions at the company level. So if you're a federal contractor and have to ask the same 15 questions to every contact because Uncle Sam says you have to, you can do that. Editing questions is really, really easy. And the nice thing about this is when we actually go to do a screening, the agent is intelligent. In this case, we're screening for a Java developer. The agent actually knows more about Java development than a guy like me. And I've been building in Java for a good 18 years.
Hmm.
So when we do screenings that are tech specific, the screenings are pretty remarkable in content. Um, The everything you see here can be hooked up to the ATS. So if we want to have it so it syncs job descriptions back and forth between the ATS, we can do that. Some customers choose to do that. Others choose not to, because all the searching we do inside of TalentFlow is done by using these job descriptions. So if I'm going to search for more talent, it's going to take that job description and use that to search rather than Boolean logic or natural language queries, that sort of thing. And what we found is it's remarkably accurate, and gives us a really good starting point for, finding a large, if I need to find a large group of candidates, I can do that. And I can do that out of the data that might have been hiding in my ATS all along.
Very cool.
So let's go back to jobs here and let's take a look at the candidate side of this. So take a look at our Java developer. And as we're looking at this, the data, the TalentFlow is highly performant. We're running this out of an instance of our product that has over 4 million candidates in it. So, if you see it loading, it's loading out of a fairly large database. The
So Daxtra has their own set of candidates profiles in the platform itself beyond what the ATS has.
in this case, this is all the candidates that came from the ATS.
Okay.
And if we did hook directly up to job boards and for whatever reason we're not syncing those back to the ATS, we can also have direct applies come in and be a part of this list. So most of this is coming from the ATS to start with. And we get both people that are in the database and have been there for a while, and we also get new applicants. So as new applies come in, those are added to these lists that you're seeing here. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Couple quick things. One is that we always put whatever the requisition ID is, and whatever format your ATS uses for those, we always try to put that right up here so that you're able to go, okay, that's the right Java developer job. We have tabs that organize things by what stage the candidate's in. So if you want to go see who's missing information, you're able to go in. Oh, and then remember I started that search. It's telling me, okay, I'm done with the search and ready to review the candidates. So I can go back and look at that later, but if I want to see my information missing, there's the one guy that we're missing information on. If I want to change a status, it's really, really easy to do that. And those statuses can be synced back to most ATSs. Can't do it with all of them because some of the ATS's APIs don't support that, but where we can, we do. So if you're a recruiter and you're looking at a whole bunch of new candidates and you're wanting to quickly update the status on them, we try to make that pretty easy for you to do just by hitting the drop down and selecting the correct status. So the fun part really comes when we find a group of candidates that we're interested in. And, if I want to engage, if I want to screen multiple candidates, Chris, it's really easy. I just pick who I want to screen, or maybe I pick everybody, and then I go up to agent and I pick screen selected. It's going to verify with me a few settings. You can have a different name for your agent. You can change that to whatever you want it to be. In some jurisdictions, we do have to tell the candidate that they're talking to an AI by law. So we make that pretty easy to do and bake that into the workflow. And then we give the recruiters an opportunity to edit the mandatory questions in case for just the job, in case there's something that they need to change. Maybe there's something that's changed conditionally or whatever. Give them a chance to revise things, and then it confirms how many we're going to reach out to when I hit start screening. It's going to start screening all that starts 6 conversations, and I get notified when all the screenings are done. So make it really easy to work with a large number of candidates quickly. And a lot of people always ask when I do a demo, hey, can we hook this up so there's some rules that automatically trigger screenings? And that's coming in the next 30 days.
Okay.
So.
What's under campaigns? Am I give us? Is there a CRM in this tool as well?
We have a lot of features that kind of mimic some of the things you might see in a CRM, but the campaign feature is something we put in that allows you to do sequences of messages. So if I want to have a keep alive or a keep in touch sequence where every 2 months we're sending a message out to a candidate asking if they're, open to a change in career, or maybe something as simple as, hey, if you've updated your resume, please text it back to us. And yes, we can accept resumes via multimedia message via MMS. So we kept the campaign tool in so we can do those time sequenced messages. Also, those campaigns get used a lot for post hire. Um, think about this. A lot of companies, the most expensive problem they have isn't a recruiting problem. It's actually a post hire problem. We've discovered we've hired you, Chris. Your first day is a week from now, and our big challenge is to get you to your first day, get you
Yep.
there on time, and make sure that you show up. And we have a lot of customers that come to us with ghosting problems where they've got employees that aren't showing up to their first day of work. The campaign functionality that we have is perfect for setting up a sequence of reminders that will ultimately culminate in a message about an hour and a half before the first shift that that candidate has, where we're telling them where to show up, what to wear, when to be there, how to get in the building, whatever we need to tell them to make sure that they show up. Those kind of campaigns, Chris, have cut ghosting as much as 50% for our customers. And, that stopping employee from ghosting right at the first day of hire, that is the most expensive point in the entire process for somebody to ghost out of a recruiting funnel.
For sure. For sure.
So the campaign feature gets used a lot for that, those sorts of workflows, and it can work in coordination with the agent. So an agent can trigger a campaign and go, okay, so we're not this candidate, we're not interested in hiring them today, but I'm going to put them in the Keep Alive campaign so that they're getting a text message for every once in a while, a check-in text message every once in a while. Make sense?
Yeah. Mike,
All
who's
right.
the who's the ideal candidate client for you guys for this type of tool? Like describe that maybe that potential client's tech stack, how this fits in. Give me a sense of how how you view that.
Yeah. So our ideal clients, the real gating issue is either that they're okay with not using the ATS, or if they want us to integrate with the ATS, it's on our list of supported ATSs. If you've got a supported ATS, you're good to go. And if you're okay with working around the ATS, we have lots of clients that, for whatever reason, are okay with importing and exporting contact records, so that they can automate the communication workflow. That's completely okay to do too. And in some cases, if you're just doing everything out of Indeed or everything off job boards, our ability to hook directly up to the job boards may be just enough to be fine for you.
Mhm.
So those are really where we fit. We've had, as far as industry goes, Chris, already we have customers that have signed up for this that are in everything from franchise retailers that are operate thousands of stores in the United States. We have healthcare providers, we have manufacturing. We've had a lot of interest in a lot of different areas, and what's been really interesting is the problems are very similar. It's really, how do I make it so screening is not taking up so much of my recruiter's time? Can we get that time back and just outsource that to the screening agent? And the answer is yes. And the other place we're seeing just a lot of interest is those post-recruiting workflows where you lose an employees, but over communication issues. Um, you know, losing a new employee over, we can say rescue a new employee with a 3 cent text message. I mean, it's
Nice.
pretty amazing, but that's the truth.
Nice. Anything else you want to show us before we shut the?
Absolutely. I'd love to actually do a screening, if you're
No.
you're okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. So we did retain, by the way, we did retain all the communication capabilities that Pivot CX had. So,
Mhm.
if I want to start a screening with this particular candidate. I'm going to select that candidate, go up to agent.
All right, there's the chat history.
Yeah. So just a quick look at our quick look at a typical screening interaction. I'll go ahead and just, so this is the beginning of an interaction right here. And I want to just point out a couple of things, Chris, that are really exciting here. First off, um, the agents are smart. They can, they don't, it's not like that people have to answer exactly what the agent is asking for. In this case, the guy's saying, sure thing, boss, instead of yes, and the agent understands it. The second thing that you'll notice is as we get into questioning, it's quite smart. In this case, the candidate's saying, hey, I've got 16 years of experience with Java. Um, you know, can you work with build tools such as Maven, Gradle, and Ant? And the important thing isn't build tools and technology. It's this candidate's next answer. I know two of these skills, but I don't know the other one. And if you look how the agent answered that, it explained what it is and moved on and kept the candidate engaged. And you look at the speed it's engaging, we're in the same minute. And then as the candidate asks more questions, here's one where, have you worked with in an agile test-driven development environment? The candidate literally gave him an answer that is the essence of test-driven development, but he didn't call it that. The agent's smart enough to recognize that and go, okay, yeah, that aligns with test-driven development, and then goes on to the next question. All of that information becomes part of the record, and that means all our agents can use that. So the agent that's doing the screening, Chris, starts with a resume and a job description, and it builds the questions based on the intersection of those two things. So what it's really trying to do is, if our requirement is I need 10 years of Java experience, it's going to verify that I've got the 10 years. If I said, yes, I have it, and I didn't say how many years in the resume. So it's going to fill in gaps. And then when we're done with the screening, what comes back to us is a view of the candidate that has those gaps filled in, and leaves the decision making to making to the, to the recruiter. So anyhow, as we go through, it goes through, does that whole thing. And then you look at it, the team says the team will reach out, notifies a recruiter, and then here you go. The recruiter jumps in and is able to communicate in the same conversation off the same phone number that the agent used. And that's always been one of the tricks with Pivot CX and Daxtra Engage, which is what Pivot CX became. We have fantastic human-to-human workflow, and we make it really easy for recruiters to talk to lots of candidates. We retained all that capability, but then added the agentic AI to it. So, we still have the little features like this one up here. If I click that button, you'll never guess what it does.
Calls them.
Exactly. So a lot of capability, trying to make it really easy to use. And really where the power is in this tool is its ability to replace just a lot of work that recruiters spend a lot of time on that really isn't driving the real value. The real value that recruiters have is that relationship building, working with the hiring managers, making really good decisions about who is the best talent, and we can give them information to make those decisions in a way that I couldn't have done even a year ago or 6 months ago.
Nice. Good stuff, Mike. Well, appreciate the other demo today. Tell the folks where to go to learn more and check it out.
Sure. Always more info on Daxtra at daxtra.com. And, again, I really think that, recruiting has a bright future, especially with AI. I think it's going to make life better for a lot of recruiters.
The future is AI. All right, Mike. Well, appreciate your time today. And thanks again for joining us here on RecTech.
Thank you, Chris. Good to see you again.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.